Show. Living on the water is the only life we know. Yo, ho, ho, ho. It's time for the Bodie Show.
Are you going to behave, Toby? Nope. Your levels went right back down. Are you going to behave, Toby? Can you be trusted with a microphone?
Yo, it's time. Is that behaving?
Yes. Welcome to the Bodie Show, everybody. We have our special younger demographic liaison who started it all, Toby.
Hi, guys. My name is Toby. This is ASMR with the Bodie Show.
All right. You must behave with the microphone. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. And we have Stephanie, who can't hear me because I only brought one pair of headphones to the recording session.
This is a totally different experience so far. Very strange.
Very strange. Do you want to wear the headphones?
No, maybe.
Yes, here. You wear the headphones.
Is that a good idea?
Yeah, and then if it's better, then we're good. Welcome to the Bodie Show, everybody. Stephanie has the headphones on now. How do you feel? Is this better?
It feels closer to normal.
All right, good. Yeah. It does. It's actually, this is the first time I've ever, It's weird without the headphones.
You look all freaked out over there.
I'm like wigged out. We have an exciting show today. We have a lot to cover. Let's start with some announcements.
Okay, should we start with where we are, please?
Oh, yes. Let's set the stage. We are sitting in a boat. That boat, where is it, Toby?
In the barn.
The boat is on a trailer on a concrete pad, which supports a barn, a 4,800 square foot pole barn, which is known as the barn. And
because creativity.
it is our family's like boat hangar where we keep all of our various boats, our friends' boats at times, and
we throw ragers until Poppy said we're not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, Poppy said, I think somebody was dancing on the workbench, and he was not wrong.
It was me.
No more ragers, and it was a one and done. Yeah, and then actually, like for a callback to the rager, we were moving all of there's a shop like with a workbench and a bunch of machine tools and wrenches and awesome stuff for fixing boats and other things. And we were moving equipment around, and Brad found 2 ping pong balls, and Poppy saw them, and he was suspicious.
What if we were just playing ping pong?
Well, everybody was doing the jump to conclusions with that. So that's where we are. The boat we're sitting in is a special boat.
I want to call it Quasi.
You want to call it Quasi? It's a 1981 Cobalt Deep V. Now, I'm going to hand this off to Steph for impressions. What's your impression of this boat?
It's very powder blue, and it's very squishy, which I like a lot. There's lots of cushions, and there's a lot of carpet in the bottom and on the sides.
And ashtrays.
And there's a lot of ashtrays and cigarette lighters and cup holders. Like this is a boat for smoking and drinking.
This cigarette lighter is maybe going to work. I just pushed it in. The ashtray, there's 2 cigarette butts in there, probably from the 1980s.
Nice. It's so familiar. Like that little Jim Jam is so familiar.
Did you just say this boat is all about smoking and drinking?
Yeah. It's for smoking and drinking, clearly. Yeah. The carpet is delightful. Like there's a lot of squishy blue comfortable upholstery and padding, and then there's a lot of wood trim as well, which is very special. It's seats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at least. Amazing. And what is it, 18? Just
18 feet. 18 feet.
It's very 80s. It's delightful.
It's a museum piece in the sense that we just acquired it from its second owner who never used it because it came with a house they bought on Scroon Lake, which is a lake in upstate New York in the Adirondack Park. And it was, again, acquired when our friends Kevin and Anita bought the house. The previous owner bought it new in 1981 and maintained it meticulously. The aesthetics of it are in really good shape. However, this man put a lot more attention into maintaining the engine and the outdrive than he did even the aesthetics of it. The aesthetics of it were basically like it got cleaned and put away and not left outside, right? But like the teak hasn't been re-oiled. You know, the vinyl's in good shape. I think it's been treated, but it's not like it's in like absolute perfect mint condition. I have never seen a boat motor that wasn't brand new that looked as good as the motor in this thing.
Yeah, it was one of the first things I noticed when I'm not interested in motors, but you had the thing that covers the motor up. The first thing I said was that the engine looked really clean.
You did. You've never noticed a boat engine in the history of a boat engine.
It's true.
It's boat engines.
First time it's ever happened.
Maybe the only other time that happened is when you saw, which I don't recall, your first color-coordinated multiple outboard boat, which you mentioned in a previous episode.
I did, yes. I've seen a lot of those now because I drive back and forth to Alex Bay every day.
Dude, I almost got into an accident because there's a big 3 to 4 outboard speedboat parked in the Swan Bay parking lot right next to the turnoff, and like I'm driving down Route 12 for the first time in a long time, and this boat wasn't there the last time I drove, and so I'm like,
the one right by the chopper.
Yeah. That big
yeah.
speedboat.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm ogling that. It's got good colors and a bunch of outboards, and of course it's right next to like turn into the gas station, turn into the price chopper, turn into Swan Bay.
Crash right there. It's It's death central. Yeah.
I almost slammed into the car in front of me because I was driving one of my kids' cars, which doesn't have automatic braking, which is apparently something I just need to have all the time now because my head's on a swivel.
Just staring at boats, trying not to crash.
Try not to crash.
Oh man, it's hard this time of year. They're everywhere.
They are.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of boats on the side of the road. And like every now and then, a couple episodes ago, I did the go ahead and turn right around and go back.
Yeah, you're a boat person when that could be a new occasional segment. You're into boats when you slam on the brakes, do a UE, and go back and look at the boat that you just saw.
Could we just assume that if you do a podcast about boats, you're already, or listen to one, could we already assume that we're all already here together?
Yeah, so we don't need to.
No,
we don't need to
we
celebrate.
Don't need further criteria in order to identify us as such. I don't think.
So we're in the boat barn. There's all sorts of boats and tools and stuff around. This is probably my happiest place, this barn, and the field out back. We've mentioned adjoining boat barns because Steph's boat barn is up the road, the dirt road that runs between our properties that adjoins, those properties adjoins. And I want to just actually, let's get some announcements out of the way before we move on. Otherwise, I'll forget.
Go team.
Okay.
Thank you, Toby.
I'm back.
Okay, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Garrison Starr, singer-songwriter, Jay Nash's sister from another mister, one of the people in this world who cracked Stephanie up to no end.
It is true. Garrison makes me laugh, and I love her voice more than anyone else's.
Who is the only female folk singer I know to have covered Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G.
Is playing in the Thousand Island Park Tabernacle on August 17th, show at 7:30.
Tickets at rivertakemehome.com.
There it is. Second event. These are in reverse chronological order. Jay Nash, Bodie Show writer, director, musical producer, and all-around good guy of the Bodie Show, is performing on Saturday, August 10th at the Grindstone Island Winery. If you Google Grindstone Island Winery, it's the one in upstate New York in the Thousand Islands. And it's an island. It's a winery on an island. It's a beautiful spot. You got to get a ride on a boat there. There are water taxis, RJ Marine you can call, and some others. And then there's a bus that'll run you from the town landing to the winery. Or if you can get to Canoe Point and follow signs on your bike, it's Steph's making a painful face because she doesn't want to do that.
I do not. No, I don't. But you're right. There are plenty of ways to get there now.
Yeah.
Yes. They've done a great job in making it island accessible, quote unquote.
And I'm not exactly sure what time that is, but these are fun things with friends of the show. And the Grindstone Island Winery is managed by Julia Purcell. And it's a beautiful place. Like, they're literally growing their own grapes, and they make legitimately good wine, objectively, not just for New York State. There's some New York State wineries that we shall remain nameless, or maybe we'll just name them, that make wine that often goes into slushies. That's a thing in upstate New York. But the Grindstone Island Winery makes legitimately good wine. And they're also playing around with canning a prototype wine spritzer.
Yeah.
And I believe it will be on tap because they got taps. Julia got taps.
Right. That's right. This is all coming back. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be, it'll be great. That's this Saturday.
That is this Saturday. And then the other event, should I plug my talk?
Of course you should. I just want to preface this by saying that we had to look up when Garrison's show was. So I had to like go to the TI Park site and then like download a calendar. And then I'm like looking at the calendar and there's an event that just sort of sounds like Jeff. Like it's like he does AI blah blah. And like he tells me about it all the time and I listen.
No,
and
you don't.
I do.
You-
And I do. I know things. I know about machine learning and the difference between machine learning and AI. I know things because you told me and I listened. And then, but then I'm reading the name of this talk, and it's like Chautauqua series, blah blah, and the machine. You teach the machine, and I was like, dude, this sounds like something you would do. And he was like, yeah, that's my talk.
And then I asked you exactly when was it?
Yeah,
because I didn't really know, and I also needed to know where was it, and I still don't know that.
I can't with the whole thing. It's
no,
amazing. I definitely can't help you with where it is. It's somewhere in TI Park.
It's in the
chapel
above the office.
I'm gonna go with chapel.
It's in the chapel. Is that a place in TI Park?
Seriously, you live there?
I've never been to the. I don't know anything about a chapel.
All right, go ahead, Tobes.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the chapel, Toby?
No, I was just waiting for a second where you talked about AI.
All right, I'm gonna do that when I get around to it,
so that I could say nerd.
you just gave it away, so now it's not gonna. So, I'm giving a talk called "You Teach the Machines: A Human's Guide in the Age of AI."
Nerd.
And I do a lot of this in my day job, where I help people understand what AI is, what it isn't, and why they should be both terrified and optimistic at the same time. Because that's really the reality of it.
Ooh, the promo voice just came out.
Did it? So that's Thursday, August 15th in Thousand Island Park in the chapel.
I bet it's the chapel.
Yeah, it is, because it's not the tabernacle. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Old business. Old business.
The level of just of like awareness of what's happening. I mean, it is high summer, so
yeah, there's a lot going on.
Basically, we're just like, it's like.
I don't really want to plug my own event though, which is dumb because.
Well, I think I'll do it for you.
Okay.
Everyone should go listen to Jeff maybe at the chapel.
It's at the chapel at 7.
We don't know when it is.
No, it's at 7. It's at 7. Unless it's at 6.
And it's going to be great. So I'll be there.
Maybe we'll figure it out. You'll be there.
I can't wait.
So
we'll take a picture of the time and place and we'll put it on the Insta. How's that?
No, we won't. No, we got one more show between today and that when that happens. So we'll announce it in that.
Good. Plenty of time.
Yeah. Okay, but clear your calendar for the evening of Thursday the 15th, Saturday the 10th, and Saturday the 17th.
Yeah, that's it. Besides that, nothing is happening.
No, there's a lot of stuff happening. Listener corrections.
Yep.
The combination, like Brangelina, of two words is known as an amalgam.
Okay.
Or
what was the other one?
Portmanteau.
I can't believe that. I've never heard that word before.
Amalgam comes from listener Diana. Portmanteau comes from Sam Hinckley.
Portmanteau is a fascinating
Portmanteau comes, yeah.
It sounds French. Do you know what it translates to?
When you smash two words together.
You're just going to make something up.
Yeah, well, Sam said that's the word for when you smash two words together.
But don't you think it means something in French?
It means when you smash two words together? I don't know, man. What do you think, Toby? You took a lot of French.
Je ne sais quoi.
It doesn't mean, is that what portmanteau means in French?
I actually don't know what it means, so I'm going to look it up right now.
Yes, thank you.
I wanted to look it up too.
Thank you. You could take a break from calling me a nerd during my podcast. Other old business listener, yes.
A quality that cannot be described or named easily. I thought it meant I don't know.
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne comprends pas. I don't understand.
Now we know how to.
But what does portmanteau mean?
She's not interested in
Je ne sais quoi.
All right. Full circle.
Correction from listener John. It's not Jim Croce who sang The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which we heard from a few people. It was Gordon Lightfoot, and this is directly from John. The Bard of Canada can easily be confused with the Pride of Philadelphia, Jim Croce. However, anyone who spent the time riding in the quote-unquote wayback of their mom's station wagon during the late 70s would recognize their subtle differences. Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald takes the title, for me, as the saddest song, though it is really more of a dirge, ever, as it has the highest death toll, 29 men who dies on the ship when, quote, the gales of November came slashing. So that's the highest death toll, I guess, of any song. John is claiming that. I'm going to believe him.
I've never thought about death tolls in songs before.
You usually, because you're too busy like cracking yourself up about death tolls and shipwrecks.
No, but like, are there other songs about death? And we'll leave it there. Let's assume John's correct about the highest death toll. It also sounds like a cargo card.
It's safe to assume it does. Safe to assume John's correct about most things.
Okay.
He thinks deeply and is well versed.
I don't think I know John, do I?
Maybe you haven't.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, doesn't matter. Moving on. That was our listener correction. There were some others that we're not going to cover right now, so we're just going to claim to be right about those things.
Okay.
Oh, I have something I want to talk about.
Let's hear it.
Boat wash stations.
Like the one at Swan Bay?
There's a boat wash station at Swan Bay?
Yeah.
Nice. So the Adirondack Park is really, really trying hard to keep...
that kind of boat wash. You mean invasive species? I'm serious. There's multiple kinds.
I forgot about your boat, that the boat wash station was closed.
Yeah, when you tried to put it in April. Yeah,
exactly. Trying to put it in April.
In the beginning of the longest season ever in the Thousand Islands. It's like going on month 7.5 right now. It's like, is this summer over yet? For Christ's sake. Anyway, yes.
I'm gonna sample that and play it back to you in February.
Oh my God, I can't do another.
I'm gonna put summer in a bottle or in a sample.
Okay, but yeah, there's boat wash stations that I'm talking about they're like car washes, but they're boat washes.
Yes.
Okay. And you're talking about invasive species washing,
yes,
which is a little different.
Invasive species washing is a good set of words. It could be the episode title.
Invasive species, like as if we were actually washing the zebra mussels themselves.
So when Missy and I departed to go pick up the Cobalt 18 DV, which had been named Cream Puff by Rich Rossmassler.
It's a good name.
Missy said, "This is awesome. Cream Puff road trip." So we're cruising through the Adirondack Park, and there are multiple boat wash stations because the Adirondack Park and a bunch of the nonprofits that are in there are really trying to keep invasives out of the lakes. And so they want you to stop and use a boat wash station for free to wash all of the schmutz off the bottom of your boat, rinse out your bilge, and it's a wash and dry. They have like some sort of boat dryer.
Fascinating.
And which I don't understand how that works. So all I can imagine is a big like cartoon hair dryer.
Yeah.
That's what I was picturing as well.
Yes, thank you, Toby. And they were all over the place, and it was pretty cool on our way to Screw Lake.
Did you do it yourself, or were they manned?
No, it's a DIY.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do this here, you know.
Really? Where?
Yeah. I don't know where, but the Land Trust, the Thousand Islands Land Trust has a program that does this.
I have never seen the boat.
Like boat ramps. They like hang out at boat ramps, and that's the extent of my knowledge. It's very thin. I apologize.
Yeah. I mean, the only boat ramps I ever use are the one in Fisher's Landing, which used to have a turn in it. Now it doesn't.
Turn? You mean like going around the corner kind of a turn?
Yeah, like you go down the boat ramp and then you had to make like a
hang a left.
Like you had to sort of the boat ramp. Like there were two lanes. One went in straight, but the other side you went down, and then you got about halfway down, and then it like turned to the left.
That's good.
It was fantastic.
You know, trailering boats isn't hard enough.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's a degree of difficulty.
I need my enormous iced tea. I changed my mind. Can I still have it?
Where did I put it?
You put the bag on the swim platform.
This is a bladder busting, keep you up all night.
I'm into it.
Iced tea. Okay.
I feel I'm ready for it.
I'm going to use the boat wash station as a segue to discuss. It's not because of the hairdryer, the giant hairdryer. Hair wet brush, Toby.
Hi.
What do you think about the wet brush? And where did you see it most recently?
Most recently, I saw it as an auction prize along with other Bodie Show items. The wet brush is a hairbrush specifically designed for when your hair is wet.
Yep.
It was identified by you as an important component of a girl's sort of
boat bag
bag situation.
In like episode 3 or 4, so like many moons ago, many episodes ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah. And you said to me, "Hey, I saw a wet brush. That was pretty cool." Patrick Murphy curated a assemblage of all of the products that have been mentioned on the Bodie Show and put them in a basket to be auctioned off at a River Hospital fundraiser. And did he buy it? Or?
I actually don't know the answer. That's why I was just laughing. there was much sort of speculation between the Murphys, between Kim and Patrick, about whether they would be the only ones bidding on said basket. Like, but they were also like actually legitimately excited about the basket. So Kim kept saying like, I think I'm going to end up being the one buying it like again. Like I bought it all once and I had to go buy it at the auction again. And I will say that it was truly amazing. Like there was the suck and blow, there was
the suck and blow handback.
Yep, there was a float A.
There was a loon,
a mermaid bumper. The whole thing. There
wet
were
brush.
several swim and tips, and then there were the wet brushes.
Yeah,
which did remind me a lot of Toby.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be included.
It's a great moment
because you had a segment, a younger demographic liaison segment in like episode 3 or 4, where you talked about coming of age as a river girl.
And sunscreen and tanning lotion and all that jazz.
Going from being forced and slathered with sunscreen by forcibly.
The blue bucket hat.
Yep. I'd wear a bucket hat of bucket hats of varying degrees of embarrassingness.
And the turtle sunglasses that now Walker wears.
Walker wears.
And ironically.
It is.
They're back.
He wears them. Is he wearing them ironically or unironically?
He thinks they look cool.
Let's go with ironically. Steph just shifted
Don't
from the
make it weird.
pilot seat to the passenger seat.
I needed to lean back a little bit more.
Yeah, there are plenty of options
Now
to do that
I
here.
can't see Toby except the back of her hair, which looks very well brushed.
Thank you. I use argan oil.
What is argan oil?
Oil that comes from argans.
Ardigans?
Argans.
Argans? No,
It's a
I
nut.
will not. That is one of my rules. I will not go pirate
You will
on the
never
Bodie show.
go pirate on the Bodie show?
No.
That seems
I'll go pirate on another podcast, but I'm not going pirate on this.
Is argan a nut?
No idea.
Okay. We'll leave that.
It makes my hair really shiny though.
That was quite a segue from boat wash stations to Stephanie's turning the pilot chair so that she can put her feet up.
It's going great. Going great.
It's going great.
This boat is amazing. Look at it.
There's a lot of comfy places to sit. But people were smaller in the 80s because I don't really fit in this
You
seat.
really don't, but it's kind of very entertaining to look at.
Toby also commented that her giant Arnold Palmer half and half Arizona iced tea doesn't fit in the cup holders because they're small.
Well, I think it's more that the half and halves are very large.
Like most beverages are these days, though.
Not that big. That's big.
This is not Bodie.
I think we.
This is not. Oh, it is Bodie. We're talking about cup holders
it's
on a
a
boat.
cup holder in the boat, but this boat is also very carry. Did you check to make sure that lighter? You pushed the cigarette lighter in, but you never checked to see if it worked.
It popped.
All right, light something. Let's go.
It got hot and cooled down again.
Great.
Cigarette lighter works.
Great news.
I might like start smoking Virginia Slims or something.
No,
because of
it
this.
makes me want to smoke something because look at it. Look at this one. It has it says push.
Yes.
I hope everybody can picture this in their mind's eye. It's a little metal cap, and it says push on one side, and it opens up
It's the ashtray.
little ashtray.
Yeah.
The little place where you can stick your cigarette.
Driver gets an ashtray, and then
Everybody gets an ashtray.
well, passenger doesn't.
Oh yeah, you're right. They don't.
Yeah, that's where mom sits when she's pregnant. Because by the 80s, they'd figured out that you shouldn't smoke and be pregnant at the same time.
What's going on in here?
Yeah.
Hey.
Port cigarette lighter works. Toby just confirms.
Also,
What-
I opened up this. What do we call this? What's this?
That's the glove box.
Glove box. There's a glove box because it's so carry. This is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
This is a very carry boat, which I like.
If you ever drove around in like your grandparents' Buick of when you were a kid, and if you were a child of the 80s and drove around in your grandparents' car, it had a lot going on that's similar to this.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of my first station wagon.
Yeah.
Great. Love it.
We have covered the Cream Puff road trip. Oh, so we went to Scroon Lake. We passed all the boat wash stations. We had 2 great days on Scroon Lake, which is a very long, skinny lake in the Adirondacks with a lot of park on both sides. So it's a really cool place to see stars. There's not a lot of light pollution. It was cloudy both nights, so we didn't actually see them. But we went boating. We went into town, which you can either drive 3 minutes to or boat 20 minutes to. And it's a different kind. It's like a drive around in the lake for fun kind of thing, not like use boats for transportation. You can, but like just barely use boats for transportation.
There's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go.
Copy.
You can go to town or the marina or your friend's house.
Got it.
So there's places to go if you have friends
On the lake.
on the lake.
Yes, I understand now. Great.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. while you were doing that, I was here struggling. I was
Yes.
struggling.
And it's up to you on whether to share more on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I was just like driving along, and then my entire, what do you call it? Shifter? No, what is it?
Yeah.
Throttle?
Shifter.
Throttle. Yeah, the throttle on my boat just like fell to the floor as I was on my way to Round Island for a relaxing afternoon of watching 13 going on 30.
And close.
I love that movie.
I know, don't you? So do I.
It's so good.
I was so excited.
That's Jennifer Gardner, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. 13 going on 30?
It's this lady who like is 13 and then she like touches this dollhouse and then she turns 30 and then she has to work this job as a 13-year-old.
Oh, it's like Big except for girls.
It's better than Big, okay?
Definitely.
It's so different.
Yeah.
Such a different vibe.
Way better. Anyway.
Does she play a song on a giant keyboard in a toy store?
No.
How is it?
Which is why
then it's not better than that.
It is. Anyway, the point is I was very enthusiastic about this is relaxing, right, Toby? I'm headed to Round Island to sit on a couch and watch a movie with some girls. I was very excited. And then
You don't have a lot of like young girls or old girls?
The whole mishmash, the whole set. Some young, some old. And then my shifter just fell off. And then I had to spend the afternoon fixing it instead, which was less relaxing.
No, and maybe the what was the first thing you did when the shifter fell off?
Took a picture and sent it to you.
And I called you, and I thought that it had happened like earlier that day, and you were safe. But no, it had just happened, and you were still driving the boat, and the shifter was on the floor.
It was on my lap.
It was on your lap.
I picked it up off the floor and I put it in my lap, and I was like, kept going. I was like, God damn it, I'm having girl day one way or the other. And but I will say this: I was like, what could go wrong? It's fine. I'll just keep going. And then I had to dock the boat with the throttle in my lap, and it turns out that was not an easy thing to do.
No, I can't imagine it would be. So were you like pinning the throttle mount between your legs?
Between my knees, and then at one point, but I had to hold it with the other hand. So you had to really be strategic about when you were going to use the wheel and when you were going to use the shifter, like shifting, especially from forward into neutral and reverse and such. So I tried to really keep the gear shifting itself to a minimum. It was a much more like a real slow-mo docking job.
I think slow motion docking is the coolest way to dock.
Well, but what about those dudes that like do like fast docking on purpose as a sport?
Oh, like in the Chesapeake Bay on the crab boats?
Right.
That's cool, but it's like a whole different kind of thing.
It's like Olympic docking.
That's Olympic docking.
Yes. I want to do that.
You'd be good at it.
Thank you.
But slow motion docking is actually something that came up in a text thread with Christy yesterday, and she wanted me to get you to talk about slow motion docking.
Really?
And how much cooler than like fast docking it was. Huh. So it's interesting that it came up organically, and I didn't fish for it in any way.
No, but she probably didn't mean when your shifter is like pinned between your knees.
No, but she did think that you would make slow motion docking perhaps a little entendre.
But wait, how? I don't understand why slow motion docking is a thing. For
Christy. Stephanie, when a man and a woman love each other very much.
Excuse me, I'm just going to drink my Arnold Palmer over here. You go ahead. Is there theme music for this part of the show?
No, Jay hasn't written it yet, but he's probably composing it while we speak because he thinks that slow motion docking would be.
Is it like Barry White-ish? I don't understand.
It would be something like that. There'd be a yacht rock song with like something about slow motion docking in it. So
slow motion docking. Okay.
So Christy, look what happened. You put that out into the universe because she was talking about her son Heath driving the Shamrock, and he's all about like tearing into the dock and slamming it in reverse. Oh, he's a 15-year-old boy. He thinks that's so much fun.
Well,
and
when you're right, you're right.
Well, it is.
Yeah. I don't need to know about this from my children about the fast docking.
But anyway, so her point was that we should make slow docking cool somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she and I conspired to have some cute girl and cute boy like make slow motion docking seem super, super cool and attractive, and then get it to go viral on TikTok so all the kids would dock slow.
Whoa, that's
every time Dad and I think of something funny, he says, "Can we make a TikTok about this?" And I say no.
You do say no. Will you make a TikTok with me about this? No.
But
you make TikToks with everybody else, right?
Yes.
All right. If we were gonna make a slow motion doc, I mean, the other thing is like it sounds boring. I'm sorry.
No, man, but it's like cool. It's like you've got slow moves, like groovy, slow moves. And you've just placed the boat where it needs to be, and there's no extra movement.
Yeah, but it's cooler if you do the same thing but faster.
Well,
all right, I'm not helping. Never mind.
No,
all right,
you're not.
We're gonna work.
This isn't helping us get.
This is what happens when you try to surprise me with shit. You never know what's gonna happen. You like surprise.
This was your story. You were talking about the shifter between your knees and slow motion docking, and then I was like, "Holy shit!" Christy and I were texting about getting you to say the word slow motion docking yesterday.
Well, I'm glad that we all arrived where we needed to be,
including you safely docked on Round Island. Did you get to watch your movie?
I got to watch the end of it, which was something.
So
there's only about 15 minutes left when I got there because
the end is really good though.
Yeah, the end was great.
Is it better than the end of Big?
I can't remember that movie. Blah blah. It's about boys. Anyway,
he just like walks home all sad in a suit that's too big for him. That's the end.
That's an awesome ending because it's an analogy for growing up before you want to, which is a big part of my life.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting
That's kind of sad.
No. Sorry.
Steph, you told me that if you make it to 50 without growing up, you don't have to?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. So anyway, my shifter broke, fell on the ground. I had to pick it up and finish my drive. And then I had to drive from one side of Round Island to
You're
the
bad,
other.
Mamma Jamma, driving with the throttle between your knees.
It was not something I want to do again. I'll say that.
Okay.
It was not the kind of adventure I want to have again. And then our boaty brother, Rob Hohen, he helped me put it back together with a piece of like plastic that pretends it's wood.
Yep.
What do we call that? Fake
wood.
Instead of the piece of wood that rotted and fell and broke in half. And
that would be the real wood.
I was going a little hard. I was like, I did hit a wave awfully hard.
Oh, the truth comes out.
And I did. And I was kind of, in a hurry. I wanted to catch as much of the movie as I could. And and that's what happened. So that was a thing. But we did fix it. And then we power washed the boat for the second time this season.
I got a string of text from not Steph, but from everybody around her. And it appeared to me as if there had been some sort of intervention.
Yeah.
Because like
everybody was making me do it. So.
Everybody was making you do it, and making you repair the throttle mount with the wood that pretends it's something else.
But I was very grateful for the help.
And then all of a sudden the net pictures come in of you power washing the boat. I was like, oh my God, this is an intervention. And then you cleaned out did you clean out the locker?
Well, I mean, I would say everything that happened that day was heavily assisted by Rob Owen.
Right.
I mean, I was definitely a part of all of it.
Was he turning it into a teachable moment?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He was teaching me how to do all the things.
Lucky you. That's
it's
everybody.
Fine. It's good. I'm happy. I appreciate those moments. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I'm very grateful. I do all kinds of things I don't know how to do these days. So I'm all in.
Nice.
I mean, there was a moment where I had to talk him down off the ledge a little bit because he wanted to keep going. He wanted to paint the floor. I was like, now you need to just stop.
Yeah.
I think we
There's only 15 minutes of 13 goes on 30 left.
No, we had already finished the movie by now. But there was this amazing moment where I found a toolboxy thing that I didn't even know was in my boat. And inside there, I thought that my registration was 2 years expired, which
it was actually 4 years expired.
Whatever. It was, I have very old
Maybe
registration
5.
numbers, and I just didn't have the executive functioning capability to deal with it this year. I was like, I'll deal with that next year. And then when I found this random box inside my boat, I opened it up and there were new registration stickers in there, which was great.
So we have a whole file box full of all of the registrations of all the things that must be registered. If you just sneak a folder for your boat in there, it'll probably get registered, and Missy won't even realize it because she's such a machine at administrative tasks.
It's amazing.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right. I know it's
We might be reaching peak nonsense though, because earlier this spring when she was going through the box to make sure everything that needed to be registered was registered, she's like, man, we got a lot of stuff that needs to be registered. And I was like, uh-oh. Shit.
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
Full mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I want to share that as a cautionary tale to all boaters everywhere.
So that was rough. That was a rough experience, but
It ended up fine, great.
But yeah, you made that glass half full of bad idea punch.
Well, I mean, we had a great time. I mean, we spent most of the day on this project, but it was really fun. Robbie makes everything fun.
He does.
It's a great skill.
He does. Yeah.
I would like to learn how to do that.
I think I do that. Right, Toby? That's a long pause, bro.
We've
All right.
a cargo card right now.
So long that I had to interrupt it.
You have. Speaking for myself, I have definitely had lots of fun fixing things I didn't necessarily want to fix with you. So
yeah, I think
job.
Rob probably makes it more fun than I do.
He's very enthusiastic, I must say. Wow,
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Yep.
It was, and he would wanted to do things right, which I am famous for not doing that.
Oh, I don't want to do things right. I just want to get them I want things to be less crappy, not necessarily right.
Yeah, we got a lot accomplished. He accused me of lying about the fact that my boat had already been pressure washed once this season.
Because he couldn't believe.
Straight up accused me of lying 3 different times. He just kept coming back and being like, "There's no way. There's no way." And I was like, "Listen, it's like we have pictures, we have a podcast. There's proof."
I'm silent laughing right now.
There's actual proof. I mean, how would I normally ever have proof? But we have a podcast now, so we know it's
been
true.
documented at length.
It's like thoroughly documented.
But it was also pressure washed in it earlier this summer when you went and visited Patrick and Kimberly to hang out. You weren't going to watch a movie, but you ended up pressure washing the boat with them, and Patrick ended up pressure washing the boat too. So yet again, you are the Tom Sawyer of the situation.
Well, or it's just that people have been nice about showing me how to do things. Really, that's more of what's going on.
Okay.
I need to be that's really that's how
I like your gratitude.
That's
I like your
the twist I would put on that personally. But yes, I don't know why there's so many spiders in my boat. It's true. It was very, very dirty. Again, it is the longest Thousand Island season that's ever happened in our entire lives. So I guess it's basically we're on year 2. At this point. So I don't know, but it was very dirty, and now it is less dirty. But it also is less floaty.
A mid-season wash is a good thing.
Okay.
Right? For boats, for me.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it.
I tried it. So I'm on vacation this week, and I was off last Thursday and Friday, and I was like, on Thursday, I'm like, I'm going to go feral. And I tried to make it the whole week.
Feral or feral?
She's right.
Feral and feral are different?
Yeah.
It's feral.
You want feral, I think.
I'm going to go feral, and I tried to not wash. I tried to not use soap or get in a shower, and it didn't work out.
Okay. All right.
Because if you swim enough, you don't have to shower.
I have 0 follow-up questions.
Which, is that a nice way of saying, let's move on?
I mean, I think it's a fair time to do that.
To move on?
But you're right. I mean, I hear it.
Yeah, if you swim enough, you don't need to use soap or get in a shower.
It's a great point. Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
You're right about that. I agree with you.
The critical feedback I have for myself is swim even more.
Yeah, that's true. We should really all be swimming every day if we can.
Yeah, or more than
maybe
more than every day. I don't.
Depends on how much.
Is that a thing?
More than once a day.
Thank you, Toby.
More than every
Toby's good
day.
at math.
Swimming math.
She took AP calculus. She must have learned it in that.
Swimming regularity was like a whole chapter. All right. So there was that, and then I also, for example, there was a new dock line in the what would you call it? The locker in my boat.
Yeah.
And when Rob found that, he insisted.
Locker is boaty for any sort of storage compartment on a boat.
Really?
Yeah. Anytime there's other than the glove box,
which is just a glove box.
Which is just a glove box. You said you pulled a line out of the storage compartment, otherwise known as a locker, as all storage compartments are known.
Will from now on be known as a locker, even though it's I don't know, it's kind of hammered and beaten, and it has a sort of.
Oh, that's a real salty locker. Salty is boaty for, that's good, that's cool, that's awesome, that's legit, that's fire.
Anyway, we found a rope line. And I was just leave it alone, leave it in there. And he was like, no, let's put it on. And then I went to a fancy party, and as I was pulling into the dock, I wrapped that brand new line right around my propeller.
That's too much of a summary. That's too much of an aggregation of the events. Let's go back. You're driving the boat. What were you wearing?
Oh, I don't know, something summery and as fancy as I could possibly get. And I would say we were kind of encouraged not to bring our own boats, because sometimes around here everybody brings their boats. There's nowhere to put them. But I was kind of being high maintenance by showing up in a boat by myself to begin with.
You described it to me as fancy dress party.
Fancy dress party. Like everybody else was wearing fancy dresses, and I couldn't quite get there, but I got close.
Okay.
You know? So I'm like showing up and I'm pulling in and like already being high maintenance by bringing a boat and coming by myself and not just taking the ferry like all the normal people. And just as I was about to get close, I just hear that signature sound, and then the engine just cuts out, and I'm like,
because that new dock line
just wrapped right around my propeller and just shut off the engine.
How far away from the dock were you?
20 feet.
So this is going out to Christy. If Heath is docking fast, just throw a dock line overboard. It'll wrap around the prop and slow him down.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say, I don't know if how many times have you done this in your life?
3.
Okay. All right. I feel a little bit better. I've definitely done this.
I think it's always happened to me when I was pulling into a public dock or a dock where there were lots of witnesses.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is probably 4 or 5 for me. This happens to me on a regular basis. I'm not proud of it. It's not great. And then I got to get
it wasn't the bow line, was it?
No.
Okay.
Nope. It was a stern line, and then I had to get out the paddle, and then I had to paddle my fancy ass dress self over to the dock. Like, it was just like, just a minute, I'll be right there, and just paddling myself over to your dock, and then I had to like lift up the engine and hope that it didn't break something, and like the whole thing,
and then like lean way back over the motor,
right? Just
in your fancy ass dress with your rump in the air.
It was a real high achievement moment.
Were there any listeners at this party?
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of.
Anybody who was at this party who is a listener that we're not aware of or we don't know, who witnessed this, please get in touch. Like, you can't send an email now, which is something I wanted to share with you.
Oh yeah, you go ahead and share that. Let's go.
So I don't know what you were putting out into the universe in the form of spam, because you have the login for the email, but Google took the liberty of shutting down our email account for violating Google policies for sending spam, and I can't get into it anymore. So all of the Boat of the Week submissions
have disappeared into like Google spam land.
No, I have them downloaded locally, but so anything up to last Wednesday is gone.
I don't think I've ever sent anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, anything after last Wednesday is gone. You've maybe sent 1 or 2 emails.
Oh yeah, I did. I replied to somebody or something.
That must have been spam, or maybe like
no.
I sent an email like right before it got locked up. Captain David, if you're listening, hey man, I'm sorry we haven't been in more touch via email, but Google like froze our account because he sent me the new model of the Hinckley picnic boat, which has a stabbing cabin, and he very much wanted a cuddy cabin for quote unquote afternoon naps.
Okay. And
he said that this was the only model of Hinckley picnic boat that he could get behind because it had a little cabin for afternoon naps.
Okay.
Yeah. And
right.
And like I'm reading that email and I send a response, and right then Google locked the account. So maybe the response I sent to him was spammy.
How?
I don't know.
Okay.
So everybody, don't send email to thebodyshow@gmail.com.
We just spent the last month and a half trying to get people to write to that email.
So I don't know how you can get in touch with us.
No.
Stop by. Stop by the boat barn. I'll probably be upside down with my head in an engine compartment for the next God knows how long as I'm getting the Cobalt back into the water.
That is a very important and also hilarious update. Thank you. What is even happening?
I think it's the universe totally agreeing with you that email is dumb.
Nobody wants emails.
Well then, okay.
I don't know. Nobody's got time for that.
Right? So,
Toby doesn't have time for that.
That was a callback.
That was a callback to Claire. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have time for that. So I don't know. We're going to have to come up with another mode of communication. If anybody has any ideas, reach out. Oh, wait.
You can't.
You can't.
I guess we're going right back to Instagram.
No, I don't want to do that.
Well, you're gonna have to do
Carrier
something.
pigeon.
Carrier pigeon.
Remember when we found that carrier pigeon during COVID?
No, I don't
Into our
remember
house.
that. I don't remember that. Was I here?
It was winter-ish. Life was weird back then. Anyway, the carrier pigeon from Vermont showed up, and then the guy from Vermont came all the way here to get it.
I remember that now that you tell me about it.
We looked. He had a little tag on his foot, and so we looked it up on the internet, and we found the man who owned the pigeon. Yeah.
And had
it's
he
the
sent it here?
Adirondack. He didn't send it here. It had got lost. It was. They were doing events. This is far from Bodie, but it's amazing. They were doing events where they send their carrier pigeons out, and then they do like maybe races of some kind or something. They do carrier pigeon events. I learned a lot in a short time, and now I've forgotten it all.
Okay.
And so his didn't come back, and it came here instead. And you know why?
Why?
Adirondacks.
They mess the pigeons up? Is there some sort of, like, there convergent spirit lines there or something?
Yes.
Interesting.
Anyway, so he drove all the way from Vermont to come.
Is it a sphincter of navigation?
No.
Like,
I don't know.
I gotta get better at writing down stuff Steph says and have a list of it, because she said to me, quote unquote, it's basic sphincter law, like I was the idiot.
It's true. I mean, you're right.
And we don't need to go into any more detail about that conversation.
That's for the
B-roll.
The B-roll.
The premium B-roll.
Right. What else? What do we have to do?
I mean, you had the most boaty, other than going and getting this glorious ode to the 80s. Oh, by the way, playlist on the drive back during the Cream Puff road trip. Hey Siri, play songs from 1981. Oh my God. There's a lot of good songs from 1981. Like a lot of epic good albums that came out with multiple good songs on them.
Nice.
Of which I will remember none right now. Because they're not
actually zero. You can't remember one. It's okay. You don't have to.
Oh, right. Damn it. The Dire Straits song, Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, that is a good one. Yep.
Then a bunch of other ones that are awesome. I can't ever, like, there's some things I remember which are odd, and then lots of things that are normal that I can't remember, and songs being one of them.
No.
Like, what did we have to tell Mom today? Who knows?
I don't remember what we have to tell Mom. And Toby and my brain work the same way, so it's like sometimes it's good that we're hanging out, and sometimes it's like we might not make it home.
Too much of a good thing.
And like Toby's finally at the point where she accepts without resentment and sadness that her brain works like mine. After much work.
A lot of therapy.
But Toby can drive a boat like a boss, and she captains the boats for her friends, which is awesome. That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the only other stuff we could talk about is the rest of the boat mayhem that happened to you this week, which we don't need to go into.
I know. I think I
have some boat mayhem.
Toby.
Getting caught in that storm. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Lay it on us. Give us the play-by-play. Where were you?
Bathtub Bay.
Which is?
The party capital of the St. Lawrence River.
Bathtub Bay, 78% urine.
The other...
Where's the cargo card?
The other 22%, is that correct?
Boom, yep.
The other 22% is just beer.
Just spilled like hard seltzer and light beer. Yeah. So you were there with your friends, and what happened?
Beautiful day.
Yep.
Sun forecast for the entire day.
Yep.
All of a sudden we hear lightning, and it's loud, or thunder. I guess it is. And then we start seeing strikes of lightning, clouds roll in, starts downpouring. The two boats that we were with decided that they were going to get in the water, run to shore, and sit under the trees in the woods. We decided to put the canvas on the Red Dog and
18-foot Eastern center console.
I felt like a tornado chaser. I packed all of my friends up into the bow under the clamshell thing.
Yep, the Dodger.
Yeah, and braved the weather myself in the back of the boat.
You told me you stuck sunglasses on your face and wrapped your head in a towel.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wrapped myself in towels. It was freezing. And Grandma was furiously texting, asking where we were, as grandmothers do.
Yeah.
And God damn it.
Toby's pissed because yesterday while I was working on the Cobalt in the barn, she was putting gel nails on the workbench, and one just fell off.
That's really frustrating. Anyway, we got caught in a storm. I felt like a tornado chaser. All my friends got home safe.
A lot of people have stories about that storm because it was a weekend day. It was Saturday or Sunday.
It was Sunday.
Steph has a story about this. It was a Sunday. It was beautiful. It was forecast to stay beautiful.
And then this 0% chance of rain.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden.
But it was wrong. Yeah. I had basically the same exact experience that Toby just explained, but I was on the head of grindstone.
I think that maybe this was an act of religious and divine retribution for something. For it to come out of nowhere.
It was really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen usually the opposite happens. They're forecasting we're going to get a storm.
So what did the two of you do?
Well, I think there were a lot
of
other
What did the people in
do.
Bathtub Bay do?
The people in Bathtub Bay, that was definitely divine retribution for all of the sketchiness that happens in Bathtub Bay.
Yeah.
They're like, stop peeing in the river and spilling your hard seltzer.
Yeah, it was crazy. And there was also this amazing moment where, so our anchors slipped. We were on the head of grindstone, and my friend Julie and I both had our boats up there at Eliza and Selena's beach. And they're like our anchor, when the wind picked up and our anchors my boat started moving, I was like, we were watching. And so we were both in the water holding our boats during the thunderstorm.
And the lightning and the zap.
And the thunder, And then we kind of tried, and then we beached them, and then my boat. So
we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
part.
we're going to leave it there.
I'm gonna bleep it out.
Yeah,
so you don't have to hear it.
Leave it there. No, it's okay. I've got it. The only way to work through this type of thing is by
you always want to process and do the work. We're doing the work right now.
Yeah,
Stephanie.
I know. I'm just not ready to do all of the work because it was a lot.
Who is?
It was a lot. It was a very challenging day, and I might stay out of boats for a while.
Except ones that are on trailers in barns.
The ones that are
this is This is like really we're easing you back into it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put my nail in the ashtray.
Oh, nice.
It's like getting back on that horse, if you will, but in this very safe way.
Yeah, and we're in a barn, so that's kind of like a horse place, except it's a boat.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up.
Everybody, thanks so much for listening. Stay in touch. All those events are available to you.
Jeff is going to make an infographic about it and put it up somewhere.
No, I'm not. All right.
Yo ho ho, that's it for the Bodie Show. Pack the cooler, grab the lines, let's go, go, go. Yo ho ho ho.
That's it for the Bodie Show.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great week.
May your boats stay floaty.
See ya.
May your boat stay floaty. Oh, this is why you say that. Stay floaty.
Yeah.
Now we got to get ice cream because Dad promised me ice cream if I did the podcast.
Yeah, I did. Let's go get ice cream, hon.